Hey, this is Quas from Team Liquid. This is my basic champion guide to Kayle. So right now, the reason that Kayle is good is that a lot of her option of items in her build path got buffed, and she's always been a really strong lane bully that can push turrets, push champions in. So since it made turrets weaker, you can actually just push minion waves in over and over again, and then the minion waves will just take down turrets on their own. So you are able now to get the turns done a lot faster than before. So it makes Kayle a stronger pick overall. So I would say Kayle is a really strong pick in solo queue. She has a lot of laning power. She's really safe laner. You can pressure pretty easily and doesn't require much mechanical skill. And she scouts really well throughout the whole game. So I would say she's one of my top picks right now for solo queue. For laning, what you're supposed to do is just push up waves over and over again and make sure you get healed off with your Ws whenever you can, since you'll have a lot of excess mana if you're only using your E's. And just try to save your Q for if you get the gank. The slow is actually really strong, has a very long duration and really nice percentage to it. So just make sure you don't die, and you can just push waves over and over again, and then eventually you'll take down the turret and get your items, and then you can be a really big threat, started to carry the game. But overall, she's not that great for escaping ganks. She's very slow champion, and you most of the time are going to be pushed into the enemy champions. So just keep in mind the possibility of being ganked, and always play around that and save your cooldowns for whenever you think you'll be exposed to a gank. For team fights as Kayle, what you want to do is keep an eye on whoever is going to get focused in a team fight. It could be even a tank or anyone who's exposed. Just making them vulnerable is a really big asset to a team fight. So try to save it obviously for a carry champion that's going to win you a team fight. But if you see a champion that's going to jump in and take a ton of damage from the enemy team, then you can use ult that. Just your ult usage is definitely the most important thing. And other than that, you'll just be slowing down for peel on your carries or for yourself with your Q, and you'll just be hitting stuff with your E and trying to rack up stacks off your Rage Blade and do tons of damage. A really good tip to keep in mind in Kayle for the laning phase is that her splash range off her E extends to quite a bit. So you can actually hit champions that are playing really safe just by hitting the ranged creep line with your E, and deal a decent amount of damage over time as you push down the wave. So you won't be aggroing the minions because you're not actually hitting the champion, but just hitting the minions that are really close or relatively close to the enemy champion will allow you to get a lot of poke down as well as push down the minion wave. For Runestone Kayle, I like to go for attack speed marks, AP Quinn, scaling armor seals, and scaling CDR and magic resist on glyphs. So these are the masteries I use in Kayle. For my skill order, I like to max E first, taking my first one into my E, and then if it's a melee matchup that I can push in and pressure with my auto attacks, maxing my E obviously is the best thing to do. But if I'm playing against a squishy champion that will be ranged and hard to hit with my E, then actually maxing your Q could be a really good ability for the trading. For item build on Kayle, I like to start with the Orange Ring, and then after that I get 2 to 3 Orange Rings because it has a lot of nice stats that scale really well throughout the game, and rushing the Ginsu's Rage Blade is a really strong option right now. Afterwards, you can go for a Nashor's Tooth to complement your attack speed bonuses from your E, and then afterwards you can do a Lich Bane into defensive items, as you only need really 3 offensive items to do a lot of damage. I like to go for either Merc Treads or CDR Boots, depending on what I need. And for defensive items late game, you can go for a GA, you can go for Banshee's Veil, etc. Just make sure you're pretty tanky, because most of the time you can be ulting a teammate in a team fight. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out my other videos here at Lovecraftian. She is a really strong split pusher with a strong attack speed steroid, and she is pretty decent AD and AP scaling on her kit added already. So I say that's what makes her strongest right now, and she